Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first Congress of Biomedical Engineering, known as BIOCON, organized by IEEE EMBs of the Universidad Nacional Mayor de San Marcos. And it's a pleasure to present this master conference about advanced technologies for brain. My name is Natalia Andrea Rojas Barnett. I am an electronic engineering student of the Universidad Nacional Mayor de San Marcos. And before starting with the conference, it is necessary to know that there are some instructions that we are going to follow during this master conference. First, please, during the conference, you can leave your questions in the chat because at the end of the conference, I'm going to read it. And in case you want to turn on your microphones, it is possible, only you just need to raise your hand. And finally, everyone at this meeting is remembered to fill out the attendance form that we will pass through the Zoom chat. You are also cordially invited to the following activities. And now it's an honor for me to welcome our speaker, PhD Metin Akay. He's currently the founding chair of the new Biomedical Engineering Department in the Jones S. Dunn Professor of Biomedical Engineering at the University of Houston. He is currently the president of IEEE Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society. He received his Bachelor and Master of Science in Electrical Engineering and a PhD degree. So today we are going to learn more about the complexity of our brain and how technology relates to it. So now you can start the meeting. So now you can start the meeting, okay?
Okay, let me share the PowerPoint. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, and you can hear me well. Okay, well, it's wonderful to be here. I really appreciate the invitation. I'm pleased to be, and also I had a pleasure and the chance to visit also your country, and look forward to seeing you all in person in the near future. As Natalie mentioned, I am the president of IEEE MBS and also the founding chair of Biomedical Engineering Department at the University of Houston, Texas. Before I start to the brain initiative related talk, I would like to tell about our society a little bit more, and also the opportunities, what's going on in the healthcare, and it's going to be, I will be pleased to answer any question you may have it after. Okay, IEEE Engineering Medicine and Biology Society is the oldest and the largest international biomedical engineering society. It was built 1952, and the name changed to Engineering Medicine and Biology in 1963, and right now we have members more than 12,000. Our conferences, we always had the honor and pleasure to host colleagues from more than 100 different countries, and we have student chapters and clubs more than 100 countries, and also we have the student members is growing, especially in South Central America, as well as also in Asia Pacific area. We have more than 2,000 student members. Society, this is very important for the students. We have several international summer schools sponsored by IEEE Engineering Medicine and Biology Society. The first and oldest one is the biomedical imaging, always in France every 2 years. And the second one, biomedical signal processing, it has been held in Italy every other years. And the biocomplex biodesign, name is BioXI now, currently has been held in Crete, Greece. And the medical devices and sensors organized by Professor Weiti Zhang and has been held in Hong Kong. And information technology in biomedicine is actually biomedical health informatics in Greece. And neural engineering, we started in Shanghai, and the computer model and medicine. So it's very, very important for the students and to apply, because some of the summer schools may have the travel support, some of them may have waive the fees or reduce but these are exceptional opportunities for students to meet with the leaders in the field, to meet with the other students, and it's a 1 week and always has been held in a very nice location. I think this is going to be a fantastic opportunity you may think about. Society has the sponsored 13 journals, and the 3 of them, the Gold Open Access journals, is especially the new one, the Journal of Engineering, Medicine and Biology, or EMB, and the editor-in-chief is Paolo Bonato. Its journal is going to have the impact factor a little more than 1 year. It's going to be, I believe that it's going to be a high impact. And it's also free access journal, and you can look at the papers, you can download. And also we have the Engineering in Health and Medicine, Translational 1, Transactional Neural Systems and Rehabilitation. Those are Gold Open Access journals. Sponsored publication, Pulse is one of them. Pulse is magazine. Actually, for our society, Pulse is more than a magazine. It's our face to outside world, and it's very important. And I strongly recommend those if you're a beginner, if you want to know something about is more written, more detailed by the experts. I think it's a good place to look. Among these journals, our flagship journal, IEEE Transaction Biomedical Engineering, as you know, and the health informatics is right now the impact factor close to 6. And we have also the reviews in biomedical engineering. The Professor YT Zhang did an exceptional job, and we are going to get the impact factor for next year and by June. I think it's a review articles. And we also co-sponsored several exceptional publications, including medical imaging, nano bioscience, biomedical circuits and systems, computational imaging, plasma, microwave, and robotics. We have conferences. Since we are an international society, we always have our conferences around the globe. And as you can see, this is just starting 2005, the Shanghai, New York, Lyon, Vancouver, and the last one, 2021, it was the virtual, it was an extremely successful conference, was organized by the colleague and from Mexico, was held in Guadalajara, which is the healthcare industry hub for the Mexico. We have several the technical committees as well as the technical communities. I encourage you, technical committees are open, young, mid-careers. You may not have the voting right for the committee, but definitely your voice will be heard. EMBS, these are the information, and we have also the outstanding EMBS student chapters, club awards, and the 2020 was the winner was the Latin America Universidad de Peruana Cayetano Heritage student chapter. As a president, when I became almost 1 year ago, and the all society has been doing wonderful, and we had a fantastic leadership. And what we have done, we added something the new. I'm going to talk about the public forums. Our mission, we are keen to foster and promote global biomedical engineering and healthcare and innovation, research, and the education globally. We are indeed the leading global society of biomedical engineering. And our aim to really improve the lives of all humanity, as well as we want to really increase the general public awareness on the important healthcare issues and also the impact of healthcare and biomedical innovation in health, the economy, and society. We have built very vibrant ecosystem of engineering, scientists, physicians, healthcare leaders. In this ecosystem, we exchange ideas, we disseminate our research, in some cases, we share data and protocols. Actually, we build a fantastic network. The public forum, the idea was behind it's to, in general, to increase the attendance and awareness of the healthcare industry, mainly for our students and the young colleagues. We wanted to bring the experts in healthcare industry, experts in data science, in engineering, and to our domain, our platform, and let them talk about 4 days in emerging areas and urgently needed areas to public. So these forums are open to public, free, anybody can attend, but the idea is, main goal is how engineering innovations can be translated into the practice to produce meaningful solutions to these grand challenges. Its platforms is very unique for scientists, engineers, all of us. And the need is, in fact, is to focus on the need for paradigm shift in healthcare and economic growth. It's also, I strongly believe that we have exposed our students and postdocs to the many career and networking opportunities in the global healthcare market. The first one we had it, as some of you may know, it was the COVID-19. I believe it was one of the most comprehensive COVID-19 forum, including the social media and also the even the you will see some of the meetings and the platforms for the COVID-19 in TVs. So if we focus on the 4 days on the challenges, first day COVID-19, then second day we focus on screening, and the third day tracing, and the last day the treatment. We had, I believe, that 29 speakers. They were all experts in the field, and they attended. And we had also, at the end of every day, we have a small panel to summarize to the audience, the highlight the important issues. The second public forum we had it on the data science and engineering in healthcare, and we had 4 days again. First day focused medical imaging, and second day digital healthcare, precision medicine, third day, and finally brain and neural systems. It was February 2021. But those, for data science, we had 36 the global experts from the healthcare industry, research institutions, academia, and to highlight this 4 important areas. This is the forum we had the more than 1,700 people attended and 52 speakers, invited guests, and plus also the total registration was indeed about 2,200. Finally, the third one was the healthcare industry trend, which is very important for our society. I also believe that this may be one of the first, maybe the first large gathering of healthcare industry leaders in our society meeting. If you look at the focus areas, is the innovative medical device industry, digital health industry, and the biopharm, biotech industry, and neurotech industry. Again, we had the almost all the speakers, they were chief executive officer of the companies, chief operating officers, vice president for research, or director of their excellence centers of this company. We had 26 the expert industry leaders attended, and we had almost more than 1,100 people were listening, and the 30 speakers, and I believe that we had more than 1,400 people or 1,500 people registered. It was organizing committee leaders, and except me, they are all from industry. They are with the companies. And if you look at the medical device, and we had speakers from GE, Netflix, Medtronic, Dexcom, Bloomberg, and also NIH expertise, and the material impact. The symposium was organized by Dr. Natalie Winevsky. She is the founding CEO of the Prof USA, and myself. And the digital health, And as you can see that we have several experts in the digital health area, and also biopharm tech, and we had several speakers. If you look at that, it's a very diverse. Most of our speakers, industry leaders, they were females. And then finally, the Neurotech Symposium. As you can see, we had the leadership was led by the Dr. Erika Ross and Ms. Georgia Platt, and the 7 speakers, and it covers the broad area of the neurotech industry. We also built, during the last year, the presidential distinguished lecturers. In addition to, we have very functional, very effective, very powerful distinguished lecture program. Chapters are always welcome to invite the people coming, attending the conferences. Okay, so this is on top of them, the presidential distinguished lecturers, and the idea was behind, in addition to existing distinguished lecturers, let's have presidential distinguished lecturers, mainly from industry, healthcare industry. And we want to hear their perspective. We want to have a new discussion on how different elements of the businesses, and also the guide and the mentor our young members, young professionals, students, how to become an entrepreneur. Among them is Dr. Erika Ross. She is the executive director of the research and development at the Abbott Lab. And Dr. Eva Rixcourt she's the CEO, founder of the Trona Medical Imaging. And Dr. Aneta Rogards, and she's with the HP, head of the life science strategy. And Dr. Winevsky, as I mentioned, founder of and chief technology officer of the Prof USA. And Jadwiga Renita, she's the director of the senior director, head of the computational biology at the Pfizer. And Dr. Tnazze, he is currently CEO of the Lifespan in Germany. And Mike Hess is the vice president corporate technology of the Medtronic. So these speakers can be available to attend, to at least to connect remotely to the attend the meeting. So I'm going to go to the look at for the healthcare innovation, and this is the PowerPoint slides I borrowed from the World Health Organization, and this tells us about which kind of disease we have to face 2030s, and please note that is the pandemic is not there, but it's there, but it's not really appears. The first one is of course the chronic disease. The better immune system and the taking care of the chronic disease could really help to subdue the pandemics, of course. And among them is still the #1 killer in the Western world and developed countries or developing countries is the cardiovascular disease. The second one is there's a significant increase is the cancer, because cancer has become a global disease right now. And the third is we live longer, life expectancy significantly increase in developed countries and also the developing countries. So in parallel, this increase in life expectancy, we have witnessed and faced many neurological diseases, as you know, and mainly such as the Alzheimer's, dementia, and also many rehabilitation related to problems, the aging problems. So those are the areas are very important to focus on. Biomedical engineering still is the fastest growing field. I strongly believe that it's a cross section of all engineering fields and the future of the engineering. If you look at the growth of the job market, actually, there's a significant opening in healthcare arena. This is my personal belief that the data science and engineering in healthcare, the job market is tremendous, and also the micro nanotechnology is also the second highest to the focus on innovative device at the more compact, more the wearable, more implantable also. I think that's a the significant opportunities for young people. The US before, if you look at the market, is before the pandemics, the spending for the market for bioengineering was more than $1 trillion US. Majority of them were the biopharmaceutical science and biopharma engineering, and it's almost close to $1 trillion. Second one is medical devices. We are talking about almost the $500 billion, $500 million. Majority of the medical devices are in the areas of the number one is orthopedic engineering, number two cardiovascular, number three is the neurotechnology and brain. If you look at these countries, this is the GDP of the countries. It was 2015. Highest GDP in the world is the United States. I think pandemic could affect it, but still I believe that it's in somewhere 17 to $20 trillion. China has the largest market, but GDP is somewhere 11 to 12 or $13 trillion. Then Japan, Germany, France, Italy, and if you look at the India, Italy, Brazil, they are around the $2 trillion, the GDP. But there's one institution, if you look at them, this institution, the graduate, they created the companies. I mean, more than 30,000 companies. Okay. These companies employed almost 5 million people. They provided jobs, opportunities in these new, very important research areas, including the vaccine design. And their contribution to global economy, of course, US economy as well, $1.9 trillion. It's very close to France, Italy, and India. And this one institution is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Many of you know as MIT. So why I was keep showing this slide, I was trying to emphasize the importance of translational research, importance of translating your ideas into the production and build a company, not just work a company, but also get the challenge and the opportunity and also to contribute to the economy. I think it's the mission of most of the research universities is right now to translate the research and also they encourage the faculty and the not only write journal papers, but also they focus on the patents and the small business opportunities. And in fact, it's working very well. Is our students at the University of Houston recently, one of our graduates, he built a new company with his advisors. Okay, this is the University of Houston. This is where the part of my department at the second floor. I just want to show you something else. If you look at this building, every floor we have something related to biology. Every floor we have something related to innovation. Although BME is at the second floor, but we have colleagues and collaborators. At the first floor, we have the clean room. And the third floor, we have the Nuclear Receptor Institute. And the fourth and fifth floor, we have the synthetic biology, computational, the synthetic biology, molecular design, molecular synthesis. So what this is very important, that is, we cannot isolate ourselves as a biomedical engineers. We must really work very closely with biologists and the basic scientists and also medical doctors and also the companies. Our department the goal is really to graduate our students with a strong emphasis on global scientific, social, cultural interaction, because the very dynamic and the changing the global healthcare economy we have faced. Just a couple notes for the students. I think it's very, very important is if I start again, I will definitely work on something is more the field of of course, the data science in engineering, data science and engineering in healthcare. This is a fascinating field because it's applicable for genome engineering and applicable for the systems level analysis. I think the opportunity is tremendous. But in addition, it's very important to, right now is the smart sensors and also smart biomaterial, because, and at the end of the day, we have to have the smart sensors and to record the good data. This data could be at every level, from genomics level, the cellular level, systemic level. Opportunities always at the cross disciplines and the nanotechnology, biotechnology, material side. But for engineers, I think we need to also make sure that we create the next generation with strong analytical skills, very creative next generation, critical thinkers, and the very professional people. It's, of course, the leadership. The critical thinking is very important because higher education should focus on the design, innovation, critical thinking, translation. Okay, our department's focus areas is we have neurocognitive rehabilitation engineering, and it's the neuroimplants, neurogenesis, chips, cognitive engineering, and also bio-neuroscience. I believe we may be the first biomedical engineering department hire immunologist, MD, PhD to the program, and stem cell, the global, and also the third one is the more data science and engineering, the focus molecular cellular imaging and the cancer biomarkers and the cancer biology models. Houston is a very unique place. Actually, as I'm sure that you have known this, it's the energy capital in the world energy capital. Most of the headquarters of the large oil and gas corporates in the world is located in Houston area. This is the larger background. But there's something else very unique to Houston, Texas Medical Center we call. We have somewhere 35 to 40 hospitals in this area located, and every day 150,000 patients, they come for treatment. Every day, 150,000 clinical people, the doctors, nurses, and they come to treat this patient. So we are talking about 300,000 people every day to come. This is the Mecca of the healthcare. This is the largest medical center in the world, and also has the most prestigious, one of the most prestigious, the research institute in the world, including, I will start from the MD Anderson, is one of the most respected or the most respected cancer institutes. They have several hospitals. Texas Heart, Texas Institute of Rehabilitation Research, Vanderbilt Hospital, Baylor College of Medicine is a medical school also, and research is fantastic research is going on. Memorial Hermann and UT Health Science, they have medical school, fantastic research institute. Methodist Hospital, both educational and also medical school. And they have also the new engineering-based medical school with the Texas A&M and Methodist in downtown. So this is the third medical school, and the St. Luke Hospital and Texas Children's Hospital. And Texas A&M have research activity as well as engineering-based medicine. And University of Houston also has the pharmacy building, and also we are just 3 to 5 miles away Texas Medical Center. University of Houston has the newest medical school. We have a very visionary the chancellor, Renu Kator, and the extremely well-respected the dean of medical school, and they have built the brand new community-based, population-based medical school, and it's the application to this medical school is skyrocketing, and also the new building will be open by summer, and it's really it complements all the existing medical schools plus, and the idea is really unique, is to serve the community, serve the economic disadvantaged community, and serve the Texas, and also serve the United States, the American, and also the globe. And finally, UTMB Galveston is one of the biggest medical school is focusing on infectious disease. In fact, just want to move into the next, because these I'm mainly mentioning to you that is these are the fantastic research institutes, but the healthcare service, but the focus is shifting into the technology. In the United States, if you look at most of the healthcare biotech clusters are in the Northeast. Boston and the New Jersey is all the Northeast corridor. Especially in Boston, there are several universities in the city, and they cooperate with the companies. There are lots of spin-off companies are coming out. It goes the same thing for the New York City, and also New Jersey, and also the Atlanta, and it goes to the Research Triangle, North Carolina. Of course, the West Coast is the Bay Area, as we all know, has been the primarily for the IT, but also it's just 1 second. It's right now is the focus also the healthcare related, and I could assure you that is the second area is the UC the San Diego area, and especially UC San Diego and the Salk Institute, and many fantastic small mid-sized companies expanding from San Diego to all the way LA. In South is this also triggered the exceptional service, exceptional medical centers, and also deserve an exceptional the companies. It's almost 10 years ago, I believe that Dr. Robbins, who was the CEO of the Texas Medical Center, he was determined to really expand the research arm of the Texas Medical Center, and he initiated or expanded the TMX, mainly the new companies, corporate companies. Of course, I would like to mention Austin also is a big hub right now for biotechnology, as well as also the IT. Houston area, if you look at this, the companies I believe is right now is more than 300 life science companies, and it's very diverse companies, and the focus goes for medical device, drug development, and digital health. And the many big players, TMX, the early one, and the 100 square foot space is right now they are expanding, and also you see the AT&T Foundry for connected health sources available, and the J-Labs, which is a part of the Johnson & Johnson innovation, and they have a large presence, and also the CDI and the Center for Device Innovation, and it's right now is already there. And the University of Houston also, it's a big initiative by the Chancellor Qatar. We have the UH Innovation Center, and I believe that the space is much larger than 30,000, and the 28 film hoods. This is more to host the spin-off companies from faculty, and also I believe that the other innovators are welcome to participate, to use the facilities, and to collaborate and cooperate with the university. Okay, I think it's time to talk about a little bit okay, I'm going to the wrong direction. Bear with me. Okay, great. It was almost 8 years or almost a decade ago. In the United States, we have National Academy of Engineering. It's an institute, it's an independent institute, and it's the highest rank for an engineer to reach. It's a very honorable institute. They came up with the grand challenges. One of them was engineering the brain. And today I'm going to talk about the engineering innovations for the brain with you. I'm sure that as many of you are familiar or you heard of it, because in our brain, we have 10 to the 11 neurons, right, consist of. And these neurons are connected to each other. The connectivity is somewhere 1 to 10 to the 3. We are talking about the massive network in the brain. It's an incredible energy conservation, but also the idea came. I just have the video from the Dr. Schwartz group, but also the other colleagues from the Duke, Brown, and also the New York State University and the Pittsburgh and the many other places. That is it possible to record brain activity to understand the thoughts of the person? So the brain is active 24/7, as we all know. Okay, so the comments is coming from the brain. Brain is a command control center. Sends the information through the spinal cord to upper and lower limb, and that's how we move, that's how we eat, and sometimes it's basically it helps to translate the thoughts to action. The critical issue is it possible to help the disabled people using their brain signals to help them to control their motion? I think much larger issue is it possible to use somebody's EEG signals, thoughts in a different room to control the motion of the paralyzed patient in another. So initially this data has been recorded with the Utah array, as you can see, and it's almost like 12 by 12, and we are talking about 100 electrodes placed on top of the cortex. So the subject, in this case monkey, continue their normal life activity, but also we are trying to get this electrical activity, we are trying to convert this electrical activity into the mechanical activity to control neural prostheses attached to the monkey or human or somebody else in another room. Okay, so to record this electrode that has been used, in this case, monkey sits there, left arm of monkey is tied to the body, but neural prosthesis is placed to the left-hand side. Of course, if you put the food in front of the monkey struggles to use the left arm, then realize that there is something else attached to his body or her body, and start using it. Start using is how we are going to. We know we record the electrical activity, and using monkey's electrical activity is we sort of extract the information from the monkey's brain about what he or she wants. Then these parameters can be turned into the mechanical, such as the torque and speed and the others to control neural prosthesis. Look at initially the monkey struggles to get the food, but with the time learns how to control to neural prosthesis with his or her own brain signals. Okay, that's we call the brain-computer interface. Note that is the monkey is getting feedback. In this case, is the feedback is the visual in the feedback. If the neural prosthesis is away and it's try to see it and then moves the neural prosthesis, and of course the brain signal tells to neural prosthesis to move. Thing is afterwards in humans, and this young lady doesn't have the very functional upper limbs, arms, and using EEG signals, brain signals, and we are controlling via robots. Basically, we are using her brain signal to control the robots to catch the ball. Next one, this is the work by Professor Silvestro Micara. He's a distinguished professor at the EPFL and also PITSA. And he and his group, and they have recorded the EMG activity actually, and they control the artificial arm using the EMG signal, as you can see. Because EMG signal is the amplified EEG, or the it's more the filtered and enhanced because the EMG amplitude is higher than the EEG. As you can see, it's imagining to opening the fingers, and the signal controls this mechanical, the system here is the artificial hand. It's very nicely controlling the artificial hand, as you can see. Okay. The young lady, lost her left upper limb, as you can see. The one way to do it, as the Mikara's group did it, is use the EMG signal to control the attach the neural prostheses, right? But there's the issues. Most of the neurons in in our arm, they are not located very close to the surface. What happens? The brain sends a signal. These neurons, the action potential or motor unit action potential, it's the innervate the muscle, but they are really not very close to the surface. But the surface. So the idea came from the Case Western and the Research Institute of Chicago. That is what they decided to Dr. Quicken, and the new name is the Ability Lab right now. Instead of before we use the EMG signal and to do some surgery, move some of the neurons very close to the surface. That way, more innervation of the muscles, more EMG signals will be recorded, and better control of the neural prosthesis. This one is called body-computer interface. This is the Dr. Todd Quicken. Yeah. That's remarkable, isn't it? Okay. And these are almost 14 years ago artificial hands. They came from the Scottish company, Touch Bionics. As you can see, everything is here electronic. Everything is mechanical. Everything is related to engineering, and which is the biomedical engineering. So using this hand, the person can turn the key on, exert power, and also this precisely hold the material or object. And this is the enhanced version. I think it's, if you look at this, the neural prosthesis, artificial hand, historically, if you look at that, it's almost the beginning of the 20th century or late 19th century that the people, they were losing the arms and legs, and the First World War, many people, they lost the arms or legs. And in Germany is one of the countries that is the early neuroprostheses developed actually. And if you look at the simple one, the earliest one, it's just hold it open and close. Basically, hold the object, right? This is, most of us do it when you're in the kitchen, when you're peeling something, one hand holds it, other one you peel it, right? Can you hear the sound coming from video?
No, we can't hear it.
That's really, okay. I don't know. Just 1 second. Just bear with me. I'm looking for the option. My apologies. I think it's really, I want you to hear on the audio because, or I need to translate. I need to. Okay, let me go back again. Can you hear me right now?
Yes, now.
Okay, wonderful. So this is the, I'm sure that you may not remember, but your parents definitely remember. This is the one of the famous movie, Star Trek, right? What he's doing, there's a neural processes, and the system is so sophisticated that is not only brain tells to neural processes what to do, but also the sensory feedback coming from neural processes going to brain and feels the pain and action. So these people, almost more than 40 years ago, they imagined that neural processes or brain-computer interface or neural processes, very critical, should be bidirectional. Not only brain tells how to move right and left, but also feel the heat, the pressure, and also pain. Okay, see? Remarkable, actually. Brain implants also, this is the 2010 is the Brown group. If you look at the Utah array, this is the surface of the cortex, okay? You put the electrode array on top of the brain, so the electrodes are communicating with the neurons. Then, of course, the signal has been carried, as you can see, to the dura, and then it goes to the outside. The early one is this is the monkey's brain, and the electrode is placed in the brain and the dura, and most of the multiplexing, signal processing, transmission, everything has been done on top of the skull. But if you look at the power consumption of the system, it's tremendous. We are talking about somewhere 100 to 200 microwatt. But this technology is old technology, but if we have only one electrode, single unit recording, if you put this one into the monkey's brain, when monkey is trying to reach the food, as you can see, neurons start firing. More closer to the food, as you can see, significant increase, significant. This tells us something. Even by looking for single neuron, we could linked grossly to the behavior. Of course, it's very important to record from multiple channels using multiple electrodes and to look at the connectivity of the neurons, look at their network, their behavior, and it's very important. But I think even looking this, I think it's really fascinating. Then the group moved on. They have developed the multi-electrode arrays is placed on the surface of the cortex. They do some preamplification and also the multiplexing on the chip very close to the cortex. This is also very important because the idea is behind, if you're close to source, if you eliminate the noise will not be enhanced until reach the computers or the smartphones, whatever they are using, they also in the system. Then information has been carried out to the cranial unit above the dura. It's a microcircuit, and they do the ADC, telemetry, and the power, if you look at them, is no battery here. Power is inductive power, as we all know from the undergraduate engineering courses, and the power can be fed into the cranial unit from outside. It's then the out at the top of the skin, we have the external unit to head, and this information has been carried out. So the connectivity is between external unit and cranial unit simply pushes the data out and get the energy power in. So it's almost like is a nano laser almost. I think it's a very powerful tool. So you don't have to worry about the energy and inside the brain or close to the cortex, but the outside this energy can be provided. Okay, I want to talk about how many minutes do I have? Nicole, Diane, how many minutes do I have?
30 minutes.
Okay, so let me talk about what we are doing also in our lab. We are focusing on the addiction. Okay, this is the brain. This is the prefrontal cortex, hippocampus, and the cerebellum. And in the midbrain, there's an area is called ventral tegmental area. Okay, this is the area is related to the addiction. Okay, so in VTA we have at least three different groups of neurons. They called dopamine neurons, and the GABA neurons, glutamatergic neurons, and maybe the others. What happens if any stimulus, such as alcohol or nicotine or excitement, the dopamine neurons in VTA, which is projected to the prefrontal cortex, as well as also the projected to the NCA, they release the dopamine in the PFC and NAC. So the dopamine is a neurotransmitter. It's a sign of excitement. Okay, so it's also related to addiction. Excessive dopamine release with the time, it also is causing problem because the dopamine and also the acetylcholine balance, it's very, very important because if system has so much dopamine, maybe the hippocampus, the dopamine centers will not release so much dopamine or VTA, because assuming that is the system has so much, with the time, they may not be active. So that's caused the problem because unless you have stimulus from outside and the person even trying to stop the smoking and drinking, they will have a hard time at the beginning to recover, right? So our goal is to understand the dynamics of the neural network in VTA in response to alcohol and nicotine, and also the neuromodulation. These signals has been projected to, but also on the way back, And NAC projects back to the red line is here, going back to the VTA. Okay, so this is the GABA. It's almost the system how it works. Sometimes when you have so much excitement and the break comes, in this case, break is the GABA neuron. Okay. We have developed several electrophysiology studies, as well as also the genomic studies. So we are looking for how alcohol nicotine affects the newborn babies if mother is alcoholic or nicotine addict. We are looking for the changes, alteration in gene regulatory network. And also we are looking for the changes in neural activity in the ventral tegmental area. And of course, with the time, we would like to look at the behavioral changes in the baby. Okay. So there are lots of people, they have been working in the area. For the rat experiments this year, how delicate the research. If you look at this is the head, nose, eyes, okay? And this occipital area, O, and we are making like almost 0.2, 0.3 millimeter to right, a nano hole. We move our electrodes from this hole, and we know the geometric, we know the exact location of the VTA. We adjust electronically, go up and down, and we place the electrode to the ventral tegmental area. When you're recording the activity, there are two groups mainly, as I mentioned. One of them is GABA, very short signal, and the other one is the reddish one, is the dopamine. Okay. So by look at this, I mean, how much deep you need to go? Somewhere 0.5 to 0.9 millimeters. If you're off a little bit, you will be completely collecting data somewhere else. Signals are different. By just looking for the waveform, I can figure out whether or not we are recording the dopamine. We are using the complexity method. It's called the LZ. Some of you may know. We are converting the data into the binary sequences. This is action potential. If there's activity comes, if we put 1, otherwise we replace everything with 0. Then we look at the repeated patterns inside. For example, this is the data, 1, 0, 0 goes up, and we get the first pattern, second, third, fourth. We just want to make sure that these patterns are not repeated before. Then, using the formula, the LZ complexity, we come up number, higher the number, very dynamic, very fast varying the system we have because we have the highest complexity. Forget about the mathematical part for a while. If you just look at the naked eyes, the signal, this is before the nicotine injection, single unit recording from dopamine neuron. And after, as you can see, after nicotine injection, the neurons start firing so fast, so quick. Okay. When we look at instead of recording from one unit, we also move into the recording from multiple sites. This is from the 11 rats. As you can see, we were using this time is the Michigan array, and each shank has the several recording sites, the 8 to 16, and we are using the same nano holes. And this time, we are very much interested to really understand to map the neural activity inside the VTA. This is the whole VTA area, okay? In that case, if you look at them, VTA consists of several different segments. And our hypothesis is that we believe that majority of the dopamine neurons are located in the PIF and the PN region, and the less PBP. So which means that is if we are looking, we need to prove that is using the neural signal and also genomic studies that how these dopamine, the neurons are distributed inside. In this case, this is the local field potential, and after the denoising local field potential, we use the wavelet transform. This is a wonderful job done by the Dr. Andre Dragomir. And then when we look at the complexity of the data, and this is for PBP upper area, saline, control, nicotine, little change. But PIF is the central, is the large change when the nicotine is given, the entropy, the complexity of the system significantly increases, almost like 50%, okay? So this shows that is the majority of them are related to in the central one. Then Dr. Dragomir and they came up the concept of using Markov model to characterize the firing irregularity instead of using the spectral analysis of the dopamine neuron firing. Okay, so this one is if you look at the gamma distribution, this one coefficient firing distribution K is, if the K is at the 0.5, is the neural firing is burst type activity, is almost like releasing the dopamine. And then the random one, and then the regular one is the transition. Random one is the transition between the burst and regular. His modeling is if you look at again, is the burst type activity, random firing, and continuous. When we estimate the irregularity, the coefficient, firing regularity K is for the burst type is 0.7. When you look at the random one, it's much lower. When you look at this, the continuous one is the 6. So it's just looking for irregularity. We can see 3 distinct patterns: pattern A, pattern B, pattern C. When we look at their origin signal, pattern A corresponds to burst type, pattern B more random transition, and then goes to continuous. The colleagues also, the Dr. Shi and et al., they have done the spectral analysis. They have shown that is the burst type activity is around 1 Hertz, and for the random one, much more high frequency, and also going to the more high frequency for continuous regular one. Anyway, so the Dragomir's data is shows that is the hidden Markov process is a very good model, because this way we can model the system high, slow, the oscillations. This is the burst type, and the low slow oscillation and continuous one. And because the slow oscillation is the corresponding to high one is the burst type activity, and the low one is the irregular, or you can call the random, and then goes to the continuous. So they are linked to each other. So each state has been represented with the 2 nodes. And this is the result when we look at the firing regularity coefficient. And when the nicotine is given, is the high slow oscillation, the blue one, increases time-wise firing time, okay? And then the low is the red one, as you can see, and the green is and when we show the summary results, it's here. If it's saline, is the normal condition, and you have less the burst type activity, because the body will continue release dopamine, okay? But not high the duration, because its only duration is, we are talking about somewhere 45 seconds, right? Then mid one is the low slow, is the transition. Random one is much higher, because it's just like the randomly the action, and then continuous one in between. When the nicotine is given, as you can see, the burst type activity significantly increased. It's almost twofold. Then the other two, the transitional or the random one, continuous one, goes down. Okay. And if you look at the effect of the alcohol and nicotine, these are the students, Professor Yasemin Akay and I. We are their supervisors, and they are the people they did the work actually. And I'm going to go to this is a very unique one actually. Let me show you the genomic studies. Okay, this slice is taken from the brain of the rat. So this is upper part, PVP, this is lower part, and this is PN. They are stained by the TH is the marker for the dopamine. As you can see in saline, and we have some presence of the neuron, dopamine neuron, but when the nicotine is given, most of the excited neuron in PN. This also confirms the neurological result that I was showing to you. Okay. So these are we also did some genomic the results, and we use the KEGG pathway. We look at the alteration in the gene regulatory networks. I'm going to show you some of them. And the mainly affected one, glutamatergic synapses and also exon guidance. And they were very, very important because if you're going to design drug, you need to understand the activities and alteration in gene regulatory networks. These are some of the publications with our students to look at them if someone is interested, and also the news about how nicotine intake by mother alters the gene network in newborn. Okay. So the other research that is the group is working on the brain chip in our the group, and I show some of them. And in addition to the recording from the single units and the collaboration, Professor Jun Ohta and Dr. Ohta and Mr. Sagawa and Dr. Sunaga, who is a postdoc for Dr. Akay and myself. This is a joint effort, and we collaborate and cooperate, publish, mentor the students together, and the design of the custom made of the genetics and the systems and the neural systems. Most of the credit goes to the Dr. Yasemin Ohta and the Sasagawa and Sunaga. Dr. Sunaga is this. So the design is have the CMOS, and if you look at the size, microimaging device to implant inside the brain BTA to record the neural activity. Instead of looking for the one by one the neural activity, we can see the whole activity on the VTA. Size is very small, 0.3, 0.6, 67 millimeters. And also we are currently designing, in addition to the CMOS, and also we are going to have the sensors to record the neural activity. There's several the highlights from the published papers, and when we implant these CMOS, as you can see, most of the activities is in look at the green and the yellow part, neural activity is right after 5 minutes later, we could see it. This activity is much more highlighted in unknown number of the neurons, dopamine neuron in central and the lower part. Okay, this is the systems and the neural probe. The imaging directly goes from the nanoholes to the VTA. We are also working on the optogenetics. We modulate instead of nicotine and alcohol, we directly enter custom-made optogenetics into the VTA. And we stimulate PVP, PIF, PN, and we look at the dopamine release we measured using microdialysis device. Okay. Our data shows that is when we stimulate the VTA, this is from PFC, this NAC, as you can see, the dopamine release within a 30 minutes increases significantly in PFC, and also takes a little bit of time, as you can see, it increases. So this is it takes 15 minutes, the early parts to estimate the dopamine release. And right now we are using the better technology to continuously determine the dopamine release in response to stimulation, photostimulation of the VTA neurons. In this case, is mainly dopamine neurons, and also in parallel to determine the dopamine release. Okay. And the next is to really the record from the multi-electrode from VTA and PFC at the same time, and also the build and develop the wireless system to transmit the signals to the outside. Okay, let me stop here. And if you have any questions, I will be very happy to answer your question right now.
What an amazing conference. Thank you very much for sharing us this information. It's so valuable, and I am pretty sure that it will help us to expand our vision about what technology can achieve. And now, as you said, it's time to start the round of questions. Remember, guys, if you want to turn on your microphones, you just only need to raise your hand, or also you can use the chat.
Don't be shy. If you have any question, please ask the question.
Okay, I'm going to start. According to the Moore's law, technology will grow exponentially. And what awaits us in the next 2 years related to brain implants?
I think it's I had the posting. We recently had brain, mind, body workshop. It's organized by Professor Gert Kaubenberg from UC San Diego. He was the chair of the workshop. I was the co-chair with Dr. Subramanian, who is the past president of our society. So we need to also meld the brain with body. So basically, is it possible to get the ideas or thoughts of the person in room A, use this idea, send it to the person B in the room B, and to move his or her legs motion. So we are converting, I mean, this is future, okay? Not today, but it's the idea will be fantastic if we get the thoughts and ideas fused into another person. In this case, it's a disabled person, to move their affected, disabled part of their body. It's going to be melding minds. It's to really share the consciousness. Or 2 issues, meld brain with body, meld minds. Meld brain body is basically help the disabled people using other people's ideas. And the second one is it possible to meld to share the consciousness? That's going to be very important. These are, most of them, of course, is going to be EEG signal, is collected from the brain, and eventually maybe the recording implanted electrodes could come to the play. In my view, this is going to be very important. That was the idea, actually, Dr. Gert Kaubenberg as the panelist but I a little bit expanded that one. Second is going to be, this was a panel discussion. I would like to acknowledge the Dr. Ricky from the UC, the Berkeley. She also indicated yesterday. How are we going to close the loop? Which means that is, let's say we have epilepsy patients, or we have, when epilepsy comes, right, and we need to give the neural stimulus and just an onset to stop the epilepsy. I think many companies, they have developed the technologies, they develop the sort of the loop, but I think for mental patients or other neurological disorders, and is it possible to get the information from implants? Nothing goes out, by the way, it's all inside. It's maybe put the pace. How they put the pacemaker just above the skin, right, on the chest, right? So let's say the mental disorder or schizophrenic patient is coming. So they detect them, get the electrical signal, and then use that one to stimulate the area and complete the closed loop for mental health. That's what I suggested to Dr. to Gert to focus on next workshop. That's going to be the future. But I think the issue should be for us the ethical point of view. I think to me it's not really super important to share ideas. It's just to help the disabled people and improve the quality of the life of the mankind. It's not to create the Superman. This is nonsense. And to me, that's the ethical issues. But we are here, we are keen. I'm talking about all the engineers, biomedical engineers, and the researchers, innovators. That is to improve the quality of the life for all mankind. That's the important. Okay.
Thank you very much for your response. Now we have another question. Carmen says, what is your vision about EMBS in the next 10 years?
Okay, I think our mission is, we just had the strategic planning meeting and all the leadership. I think it's for students part. As a president, I would like to see more the student conference. I want students getting involved and learning leadership, getting involved with our society, okay? And also have more regional conferences to promote the field in South Central America, in Africa, and also the Europe, as well as Asia Pacific area. My dream is to have the first conference in Africa next year as a president, and I have been working on one of the sub-Saharan countries. So it's going to be focused on global health innovations to scientists from different parts. It's not just to go and give a talk, it's to partner with them and to build collaboration and the first footstep for our society. And I deeply care about the people in developing countries. I think it's the technology is very, very important, but not to, there will be speakers from the wonderful, beautiful African continents, distinguished speakers, will be the people from outside, is to share the ideas, to jointly build collaboration, jointly supervise, mentor students. It's going to be one thing. And I would like to push for more regional conferences, different parts of the world. That's very important mission. For the research-wise, it's very important that we always need to be ahead of the curve. What is the future? If you look at our 3 public forums, we have almost 5,000-6,000 people attended. We have a remarkable speakers. You cannot have 36 CEOs of the companies 4 days spending time. This is first. But I think we need to make it more, these speakers are available, our student chapters, clusters, and our members organizing conference different parts of the world. So we need to melt and get them involved and move the public forum to have one in South Central America with the speakers. It could be Peru, it could be Chile, it could be Argentina, Brazil, or Mexico, but it should be free and get this 4-day speakers and expose the students and coming, learning, interacting from them. So the public forum should go from online to the face the brilliant students, different part of the world. Okay, for research-wise, strategically, I believe that is important is digital health. Digital health means that is the smart sensors and also machine learning. Machine learning and the data science is very important if you are tackling important research problem, but unless you have a good data, unless you have a good the sensors, data quality will not be good, machine learning will not help you. So the digital health in that way, because can you imagine 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, I will be sitting at home and teaching and giving my lectures, right? So you like it or you don't like it is right now we move into the next domain. This digital, this online, the interactive system will be with us like how we are struggling with the virus. I am also very positive that we will confine the virus. We will contain the virus, but still we need to be continuous. We need to be careful. We are dealing, but this digital life will be with us. Okay. The second is monitoring the patient, remote monitoring the patient using advanced technologies. It's not just a telemedicine issue. It's more, we are moving into the 5G and more data, more images can be transformed and shared with the patient and doctor. So that's going to be the very important part. For brain, I mentioned, I would like to, I assume that is the innovative, smart neuromodulation. The bioelectronic medicine, especially, is it possible to use bioelectronic medicine to control the blood pressure? Because it's almost 25% of the population is known they suffer from blood pressure. And some parts of the world is definitely more than 25%. And if you do not take care of the blood pressure, it will cause more important the damage eventually, right? So that's maybe technology can be used. And also the remote control and the modulation, smart innovative technologies for mental health is very important. That's we want to focus. And we want to look at for the genome engineering, biomanufacturing, that's important. I think it's to me, the most important, educating the next generation students, next generation leaders. That's the critical one. What we need to talk about to them, 2 things. 1, healthcare innovations matter, entrepreneurship matters. So it's this traditional way to take the class, graduate, look for a job is, of course, it's very important. We have to do it. I don't mean to do it. But also we need to look at something that is, take challenge. Don't be afraid. And translate and spend more time, because this is the profession. It's not really the fixed hours. It's more dedication. You have to work with your heart, with your mind, with your hand. This is very important. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you again for your response. Guys, any question? Do you have another question to say?
Good night. Can you hear me?
I do hear you. Hi, Elsita.
Oh, thank you. Good night, Professor. Well, I have 2 questions. Yeah. First question, what would be the treatment for the patients who have epilepsy or autism, for example? And second question, what about the future of the AI, artificial intelligence, related to your research?
Our research. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let me answer the second one first. right now we are we had a recent publication that is we modified the one of the CNN base and they turn into the but energy is going to be a problem. Energy, which means that is the AI is the if you're using the most of the AI algorithms could be challenging using your laptop. Of course, depends on the laptop. If there's a powerful laptop, you can run it. But if you're using the main computers, mainframe, also universities have the supercomputer centers, and it takes more time to that. So the several colleagues, they have been focusing on to develop to use these machine learning techniques on their laptop. It's just a regular laptop is like mine laptop. So we have slightly modified these, one of the AI, the concept, and we work on to look at for the skin disorders, sclerosis. And I think it was extremely powerful. And we published one paper at the Open Access Journal, OJMB. But for the EMB, OJMB, and for the long term, our interest to use the modeling purposes to let for example, for addiction, right? Is it possible to learn the behavior of response to nicotine and alcohol? Okay, and then train the network to look at the several responses over 60 minutes, 90 minutes. Then next time when there's an input, let the network spill the output, predict every minute what could happen. So that's the one. For the long term, for AI, I believe that is going to be prediction is very important. And also the pattern recognition is very important. And also the guiding and the learning the behaviors is very important. So there's a tremendous influence the AI could have. Okay.
Okay, thank you for your response again. Again, we have another question. Jay says us, without the ethical dilemmas, how far do you think this technology will go? What will be the limit?
Okay, can you repeat the early part of the question?
Okay, without the ethical dilemmas, how far do you think this technology will go, and what will be the limit?
I think to me is instead of, I think the ethical part is all these brain in the technologies should be used for rehabilitation purposes. Help the disabled people, help the elderly people, help the people they cannot move, they cannot go, they cannot drive. Those are all to me, it's very, very important part. And for ethical part is of course, the patient's the permission to use any of these is extremely important. And but idea, in my view, personal opinion on this, does not reflect the IEEE MBS of University of Houston. This should not be the idea to enhance the brain or something. But it's more, for example, the colleagues at the USC, at Ted Berger Group, and the many others, they are working for to memory, right? Memory is very important, right? Alzheimer's disease. And the people, when Alzheimer's disease kicks in, the person does not start building new memories. So how our brain works, the hippocampus side, it turns the short-term memories into long-term memories. Be honest with you, as of today, we don't even know exactly where the memories are located in the brain. Okay, so if you have someone Alzheimer's disease, You can talk to a person 5 minutes. You can have a nice conversation. But if you walk away 5-10 minutes, come back, the person does not remember anything. Because their system is that the hippocampus is not really converting short-term to long-term memory to remember. In fact, most of the Alzheimer's disease patients, they remember everything in the past early on before the disease kicks in. Okay, so the technology is developed to really enhance the brain, to allow them to rebuild the long-term memory from short-term memory using their technologies. It's not really create the super brain, but to allow them to build new memory for disabled people, Alzheimer's patients. It's very ethical to me. Okay, but again, it's I believe that they were at the human trials. I think the technologies is working. That's one of the biggest dilemma. Can you imagine that is you have someone in the elderly in the family does not recognize his or her own son or daughter or the grandkids. I think that's why we are in the field is even the small and if you think that small contribution, it may have really giant, and it's a giant the influence and impact in the society. So those kind of things I think they very important, but not to create this bionic man or Superman. In fact, the bionic part is we are able to almost make it the 50% of the organ or we have artificial knee, artificial hands, many parts. But I think the challenge is going to be is the brain and the mind.
Okay, thank you very much for the response. And guys, do you have another question?
Okay, please.
Mm,
Are you reading or?
no.
Okay.
Okay. So it has been a pleasure to have you as a speaker today. We are so proud of having you as a president, and thank you for this master conference. And before we conclude, we would like to take a group photo. So
okay, please. I think it will be wonderful.
Okay, so you can turn on your camera, guys. We will give you 2 minutes to get ready. So we are going to take the photo at 8 and 36 minutes. Okay.
I think the herald is holding something.
Yeah, maybe. Could be.
Okay.
Okay. On the count of 3, we are going to take the photo. Guys, if you want to turn on your cameras, you can do it. Arcadio, Zuley, William, Harold, Nicole, Angelo, Luis, Robert. Okay, I'm going to take the photo on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, maybe another one. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
everyone.
you so much for inviting me. It's wonderful to see all, and I really hope to visit Peru again and see you in face-to-face one day. Okay, thank you so much. Let's keep in touch. Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you. Bye.
everyone.